Hello and welcome back to the Real Music Talks. Today's guest is an entrepreneur, international musician, and social media enthusiast, Serhat. How are we doing today?
Thank you very much, man. I'm great. Thank you very much for having me on the show. I appreciate the opportunity. How about yourself? How are you doing?
I'm good, yeah. Appreciate you coming on. Thanks for your time. So great stuff. Let's get started. How did you first get
Yeah.
into music?
How did I first get into music? That all happened when I was around 6 years old,
Hmm.
and I've heard my
Wow.
cousin actually. He was playing. I don't know if you remember the tune, but original Nata,
No, I don't know.
Booyaka. Yeah, Booyaka. That's. I mean, that tune actually got placed to one of the Ali G movies. So that actually became, yeah, exactly. So that was the first tune I've heard from my cousin's car when I was 6 years old,
Wow.
and that was the magic moment for me that got me involved in the music. I just basically had, like, love there and then, and that was it.
And what happened from there? Like, how did you kind of take that first love into a next step?
But from that day onwards, I'm not gonna lie, I just basically started sneaking into my cousin's room to nick his tapes so I could listen to them in my dad's car. And obviously, as the years went past, I grew up, and then when I became 15 years old. I bought my first guitar, and I formed a band, and we've had a four-man band, and we was performing around Cyprus. We're going to different cities, different schools, and vice versa. But when I was 17, that's when I had met with electronic music, and someone introduced me to, um, back then what it was called, Fruity Loops, and now obviously it's FL
Yes.
Studio.
Yeah.
I think yeah, I think it was like the second or the third version at the time. It was very very old, but So I had been introduced to that at the time, and then I started trying to figure it out. Um, yeah, I mean, and then I got introduced to DJing at the same around the same time as well. So I started DJing, and then when I was 19, I became an INAPA resident, and then things just escalated from that point onwards.
Wow. So you've had like a quite a varied background. So like that first band, what sort of style of music was that?
We was just doing just about anything, to be honest, man.
Yeah.
Anything to, do you know what I mean? We didn't have a
Anything to get
style.
out
We
and
was just
play.
doing exactly. I mean, we didn't really have a style. I mean, because we were all coming back from different backgrounds. We've all had different tastes in music. So
Mm.
it was like, I liked bit of punk, and drummer liked heavy death metal. The guy who played the solo guitar, he actually loved acoustic music. So I was like, all right, cool. What do we do? You know what I mean? So, but we tried to please, we tried to basically meet in the middle and whatnot. But then obviously, but band didn't do too well. And when I met with FL Studio and DJing, when I was around 18, like that, and I left the band and I went on my own way, and everybody else went their own ways anyway. But we still remained friends. But yeah, I mean, after that, when I met with DJing and FL Studio at the time, producing, and basically I just gave my full energy, my time to those two, and then I started learning how to produce music, because at the time there was no teachers around me, nobody to teach me how to make music. So, and there was no YouTube. I mean, there was YouTube, but there wasn't um, tutorials like you
Yeah.
have today on YouTube. Do you know what I mean? So you just had to learn everything by yourself.
So how did you pick that up?
Yeah.
Was it like experimenting with different things? Did you read like books and stuff or?
Oh, no, no, no. Listen, let me tell you this, bro. In Cyprus, even today, even
Mm.
this day, the opportunities are quite limited. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, there's everything. You can find anything and everything. You know what I mean? But back then, I'm talking about 15, 20 years ago. Um, if you had internet at home, wow, that was a thing. You know what I
Mm.
mean? I don't know about you, but I come from an era where we had to use dial-up internet. Now, if you're using internet via dial-up, because you get the Ethernet cable from behind the phone and you put it behind your computer, and if anybody tried to pick up the phone, if the phone rang, gone,
Screwed.
connection is gone. That's
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? So it was a crazy era at the time, but you would find your odd. YouTube tutorial here and there, very rare at the time. So it was really, really hard. But, you know, you'd go to your friend's house. So that friend knew something different about the FL, and then you would pick up bits and bobs from them, and then you'd go and experiment with those and learn a bit yourself. So you obviously, just like in everything, this is what I say to everybody, you as a person are responsible from your own self-development. You know what I mean? Regardless of what you do, as a DJ, as a producer, as an author, or as a or whatever you do in life, all right? If you do not practice yourself, it doesn't matter who teaches you. It doesn't matter which book you read. It doesn't matter whatever you do. You have to practice. Once you start practicing, then you start getting results. And that's what happened with me.
Yeah, so think about a musician or DJ that doesn't develop or practice or take the music to the next level. Like, do you think they've got a chance at all?
I don't think so, man. I have to be honest. I mean, look, now we do have ghost producers, and those guys are making a lot of money. I had to touch this. We have to talk about this briefly. I can name a few guys out there who had never seen a studio environment, yet they are still on top of the game because they have the right people around them, the right marketing technique, the right marketing team, the right people to help them open the doors, which they wouldn't be able to open themselves. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not crying. I'm not dissing. I respect those guys because they still manage to make it, even though they don't know how to press a piano button like that and press a chord. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, you know, you see these kind of things and you start thinking to yourself, you know what I mean? Like, dude, you post a lot of pictures, a lot of videos, you're doing all these festivals, respect. But why don't you ever post a video or a picture of yourself in the studio? I don't understand.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. So I guess like what I'm hearing you say a lot is like the networking side of it is like really important and really vital.
Yeah, definitely, mate. It is definitely. I mean, I've been building up my own network of people for years. I mean, from the days when I started DJing in Ayia Napa. Before me starting to Ayia Napa, obviously we grew up listening to all these big names at the time, talking about DJ EZ, DJ Luck and Need, MC Need, and Cameos and all these people. So when I had entered Ayia Napa in 2005 and onwards, I actually started working with these people. I started becoming friends with these people, and then I started getting to know these people. Now, where I used to look up them like that, wow, they're unreachable. Now I'm chilling with them, playing with them, and I'm becoming friends with them. So me as a person, I mean, I've always had that entrepreneurship inside of me since I was a little kid. Now I use this chance and I started getting their contacts, the phone numbers. At the time, there's no Instagram. Facebook was just barely known at the time. So obviously what you had to do, just get their email, get their phone number and start getting in touch and just keep in touch. And every year when they used to come back to Ayia Napa, we used to get more close and we used to be more like, you know, better friends and better connections. So that's what I did starting from then. And obviously as the social media start popping, late 2000s and early 2010s, Instagram got presented to us in, I think as far as I remember, it was 2010, 2011, those days. And then that's when everything started becoming more easier because now you can reach out to people without seeing them. Much better, quicker. And yeah, then, you know, that I started building my network of people, my connections. And obviously now, thank God, I'm being able to leverage from these connections I've made about a decade ago.
Do you think that every musician needs to be an entrepreneur in some form?
That's a bit of a that's a bit of a that would be a bit of a overrating it, I would say. But I mean, not an entrepreneur, but I believe every musician should pay as much attention to their marketing as much they pay to buying gear or you know, producing the music. Cool, you're spending 6-7 hours a day in the studio, you are making great tracks. Respect, hands down respect. But why don't you spend the same amount of time to your marketing, to your branding? why don't you market yourself in a better way where people actually see and understand, oh, this guy is actually serious now. Look, because look, this is why I run I run two promo companies. One of them is Musician Life, and other one is Diverse Beats Promo. Now, Diverse Beats Promo is a baby. We only just set it up less than a year ago, but it's fast growing. We have got about 6 people working with us right now, and the team is growing as well. And I'm really happy about that. But this is what I'm trying to understand. You come across the clients. People message you, people email you through the business, through Instagram, blah, blah, blah. They get in touch with my employees. We talking, all good. But when it comes to closing the deal, we do perfect job. I swear, I guarantee you, you come to me, I close the deal with you straight away. There's no problem. I know that. But you have to be ready to be able to invest in yourself. If you're not ready, I can give you the best of the best presentations, but I will not be able to close the deal because you are not ready to get your hand in your pocket to spend money towards your marketing. Now, that's a mind frame. And that mind frame is what's lacking from majority of the musicians.
So true, like for sure. And if you're not going to do it yourself, you need to pay someone else that is going to be able to do it. Because at the end of the day, if you're making good music but no one's heard it, you're not going to get anywhere. You're not just going to pick up on. I think a lot of musicians rely on that golden nugget. Oh, someone might see me at a gig, or I might get home with a record label. It doesn't work like that, especially these days.
I also run a record label. I've been running for 3 years alongside a couple of my other good friends, employees, whatever you want to call them. I see them as my friends. We get people submitting tracks to us day in, day out, which is going really, really well for us. But just not long ago, I kid you not, this is what happened not long ago. About, I think 2 weeks ago, one of our artists, I don't want to give no names, but this is a real conversation that's happened. So I went on the artist page about a week after the release date. So I went on the artist page and I see nothing related to the release, no cover, because we make the cover, we make the videos for YouTube and Instagram stories and normal posts, and we basically spend more time and effort into branding the artist than the artist does it themselves. You know what I mean? Because we value the artists, right? So we present a whole package for them to be actually branded nicely. And obviously there are artists that are associated with us right now, so we have to do it. But what most of the artists think is that label has to do everything and they don't need to lift a finger. I don't understand that.
I think it's quite like an old school way of thinking. Like, what is your take on that? Like, how do you think the music industry's changed from, say, like 30 years ago?
30 years ago, is that what you said? 30 years ago. 30 years ago, there was the chance of you actually, let me show you that quickly. picking up one of these, actually taking it out of his sleeve and like putting on a record player. And before you put it on the record player, I used to smell it. You smell it and you put on the record player, you listen, and if you like it, you buy it. You know what I mean? But as a label owner, you had to press the vinyl, send it out to DJs with slips inside. So when the DJ receives a promo in the mailbox, they had to fill out the form and then send it back to the record label. So now you are getting feedback and who will be playing the song and who will not. You know what I mean? And then comes the release date, and then the actual releases go into the record stores, and the DJ would pick up the record, would put it, listen, if they like it, they'll buy it, they'll support it, whatnot. Now that's 30 years ago. But even I tell you that from now, the record sales have increased so much this last year that's gone past. During the time period, I don't want to mention the name, the C name, I don't want to mention it, I don't like it. But during that period, the record sales went sky high. So it's actually made a really massive comeback, which I'm really happy for. Coming back to our conversation, things have changed drastically. Now, the reason why I showed you the vinyl, because the DJs had a source of, they had limited sources where they had to go to the record store to listen to the song, to buy it, and to play it. Now, the market is cluttered and is saturated with sources of music. Now you have Spotify, now you have Tidal, now you have this, now you have that. And I mean, you get overwhelmed because of all these sources you have that you can actually go and listen to music. Track source, Beatport, 1001 tracks. I mean, I don't know, just so many places. And that to me, it could be a it could be a it does have a negative effect in the industry rather than positive. I understand there are a lot of opportunities, there are a variety of opportunities that you can pick from now. That's cool. But what about you actually distributing a crowd's attention into multiple places, and now people don't know where to go? You know what I mean? That's my perspective. I might be wrong. I'm not saying I'm 100% right. You know what I mean? I might be wrong, but that's my perspective. So yeah, that's one of the things that has changed. On the other hand, you have an easier access now, which I support. Now the access is much easier. It's very easy now. You could literally go pre-order a record that's going to be released within 2 to 4 weeks time. You can actually listen to it, and when the release date comes, obviously you pre-order it now, you can download it and you'll play it, whatnot. Or you have companies like mine, just like Diverse Beats. What we do is obviously to simplify, it's not that simple, but I like to simplify it as if you don't know how to take your song how to give your song into the right hands, then you come to me and I'll do it for you. I'll get your song from you. I'll first listen to it, or one of my team members will listen to it. If we like it and if we see potential there, then we will present you our promo packages. And if you agree, we will then take your song into the right hands that you can't do it by yourself. These include international touring DJs, festival DJs, club DJs, radio stations, and even bedroom DJs. You know what I mean? For us, support is support. That's it. But yeah, that's my take on that, bro.
That was great. So let's talk a little bit about events and gigs and DJ sets you've done. Like, what's kind of been your experience? I know there's quite a lot to talk about there, but if you want to kind of summarize the experiences you've had, I think that'd be really interesting.
Yeah. Wow, man. I mean, listen, look, I first got onto a pair of decks when I was, I think, 17, 18, around those years. And the thrill is still the same. When I get on a pair of decks again, and which I do, I mean, these over the last couple of months, the clubs have been shut in Cyprus, so we haven't been able to DJ. We're hoping to going back to clubbing and DJing, obviously, within less than a month now. So we are actually excited. But whenever I'm back on a pair of decks and I'm going to play a nice set, I still get the same excitement that I've had on the first day. And that has never changed. I'm not gonna lie. I've done big festivals. I've done small places. I've had days where I've had one person that was listening to me, and I've had days where I was playing to 30,000 people. So I've experienced all of it, from small to big. And the experience, if you love music, which I do, because I'm a music lover, way before everything. Before the DJ, before the entrepreneurship, before everything else, I'm a music lover. I love music. You know what I mean? So when I start when I start my set and I start playing the tunes that I know that's gonna make people dance, and I see people dancing, it's like you get a tingling starting from your fingers, going on your arms and your shoulder, and it's like a magic. I call it magic.
I love that.
Definitely. If you want me to tell you some of my personal experiences, I can give you some examples if you like.
Go ahead. Yeah, that'd be really interesting to hear.
So I'm 2016. Now 2015, I'm in Marbella with people that I had never met before in my life. We met I was in Cyprus, went to England. Stayed up at the time. We are still good friends, but I've released a couple of songs on this guy's label. His name is Organic Funk, and he's a lovely guy. I respect him. I love the guy to bits. But I went to his house, stayed at his house for a night, and the next day we met with 3 other lads, and then got on a plane And then I don't know these people. I never met these people in my life, okay? But that's the beauty of the music. Went to Marbella, stayed for a week, played a couple of venues, done private house parties, and till this day, I've had only a couple of more experiences that will beat that excitement and the experience I've had during my week in Marbella 2015. That is one thing I will never, ever be able to replace in my concern for now. That's one of those. It was great, man. You know, you get to see people, you get to see places that you've never seen or you would never think to see in your life. And then you go to these places, people respect you, you play, and then you love, and you play the music that you love. And then, you know, it's different. It's definitely different. That's one of those. And 2016, I played in a massive festival in Napa. It was the Napa Rocks Festival 2016. We've had, as far as I can remember, we've had gigs came. That what was one of the main acts he was, and we've had a lot of DJs going on as well. So I played one of my very, very first festivals at the time, and with about 20,000 people, something like that. I mean, seeing those people dancing in front of you to this music that you're playing, it's insane, man. It's insane. Definitely insane.
I think that's why, like, you just keep coming back to it. Like, that love just can't be replaced, and it is the same feeling every time. Like, it's hard to explain to people that don't do it as well. Like, there's just, yeah, it's hard to put into words, I feel like.
Nah, you can't. I mean, I can sit here and try to write down an essay for you about how I feel, but do you know what I mean? I still won't be able to express how I actually feel.
Yeah, I completely understand that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I wanted to hear your take on, say, if someone's like really passionate about music and, you know, they have loads of naysayers, their parents say, oh, you need to go and be an accountant, you know, they don't have the confidence to just follow their passion. What would you say to them?
See, lately I've been, obviously I've been a motivational speaker for a while as well. I've done a few speeches here and there, and I've changed my Instagram content lately just from music to motivational quotes and posts and videos as well. So I'm trying to help people. So actually that's one of the things I do as well. This is what I tell people. So not just about music, it could be in any aspect in life. Whatever your passion is, follow it. Don't quit, don't give up, and most importantly, don't listen to outside people to influence you, because they are people who didn't, I'm sorry, the balls to follow their passion. But you can do it. You know what I mean? Don't listen to people. Certain people, look, let's be transparent here. Most of our parents, they didn't have the balls to follow their dreams. What they did, they chose the safe option. I want to play safe. I don't want to risk it. Blah blah blah. You know, and that's okay. Not everyone's going to be a risk taker in life, because guess what? We need people to work as a dustbin man. We need people to work at banks. We need people to work in these government jobs so everything can actually get sorted out. But at the same time, we need people who have enough passion and enough courage to follow their dreams, so we can have the next Ed Sheeran, we can have the next Jay-Z, we can have the next DJ EZ. You know what I mean? That is also needed. So I'm a father of two. Okay, I have two daughters. If my daughter comes and tells me, Dad, I want to be a football player, I will say, listen, you do whatever you want to do. You have my support and you have my respect. If that's what you want to do, if that's where your heart lays, then that's what you're going to do. If you try to do something else, I will stop you, because I know where your heart lays. You want to be a footballer. You told me a dream. I will support you as much as you want me to support you. That's it. That's how it should be.
100% agree. It's that support that like everyone needs, and it sometimes doesn't take much as well to push someone in the right direction. Okay, that's interesting. So we're nearly out of time now, but what's kind of your plans for the future? What's kind of the legacy, and what's the big thing you want to leave everyone with?
but there is a lot going on at the moment, and I'm not allowed to speak everything about all of them at the same time. I mean, right now I can't speak about all of them because there are some of them are still being built. But I can tell you, within the next year or so, a lot more people are going to hear the businesses that I'm running, and obviously hear my name as well. I'm not saying it in a way where I'm being cocky. Don't get me wrong, please, because I'm not a cocky person. I'm very down to earth. I speak to anyone and everyone as long as they have time for me. I'll make time for them. There's no problem with that. But I promise you, I'm in the business of music, not just for making a legacy for myself, but I want to help people as much as I can, because there are companies out there who are calling themselves promo or plugging companies because they plug music around the radio station, DJs. However, when they try to help a client, instead of asking for a fee, they're asking for a leg and an arm. Now, I've been through that myself. They did that to me as well. That's why I set up my other companies, so I can actually literally help artists at low costs, rather than trying to get them to sell their lungs so they can come and purchase something that one of my promo packs. You know what I mean? Or their liver, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. But yeah, yes, a lot is going on with me. I'm doing a lot of big things and a lot more to reveal within the coming months. And obviously, you and me, we are linked on LinkedIn anyway. So I will definitely give you more information when everything starts happening, which is going to happen within the next couple of weeks. I believe a bigger thing is happening, and I will give you the link so you can check out the website and whatnot. And if you want, we can come back on another call and we talk about it.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, so we're out of time today, but it's been really great. Right. Is there anything else you want to leave the audience with?
Stay positive, think positive, and kick negativity's ass out the window. That's it.
Love it. Appreciate it. Thanks very much for your time. It's great.
Cheers, mate. Have a lovely day. Thank you.